Hello and welcome to this very special presentation on what's in it for you. Oh boy, looks like I got my work cut out for me this week, right? This, of course, is a play on words, and Dr. DeLito is going to be writing about an old sales expression called WIFM. WIFM, of course, stands for what's in it for me, and so I'm here to tell you what's in it for you. When you boil WIFM down, it's all about benefits. So let's talk benefits, shall we? First, let's just hit a few softballs. At VectorVest, we offer several levels of subscription-based service at reasonable prices. We've got everything ranging from end-of-day to real-time streaming data. We've even got mobile applications for both the iPhone and the Android. The all-new Android. So those of you, if you didn't see Patrick's presentation last week, I encourage you to do so. But really the message here in terms of benefit is whether you're an investor that just wants to tune in and take a look at your stocks on a week-over-week basis, or you're somebody that wants up to the minute, up to the second even, analysis on your portfolio, you want to take a look at the futures before the market opens up, VectorVest Real-Time is a product for you. Next is the flexibility to track multiple markets at a low cost. You know, a secondary subscription to an international country comes at a lower price. And there are times and places where you may want to in fact do that. A lot of our international folk I know like to trade the US equity market as well from a liquidity standpoint and some other factors. But those of you here in the States, you know, I can remember times when the chemical fertilizers were the hottest stocks around, and picking up an additional subscription to VectorVest Canada at that time could have yielded some incredible profits. But when you really boil it down, how about ease of use? We're all after something that's easy to use. So let's take a look. Guys, when you come into VectorVest, if you want to find some really solid long-term investments, it couldn't be any easier. All you got to do is come right up to the top, click on the Viewers tab, come over here to the left, click on Stock Viewer, and it's in here that we sort, rank, and analyze nearly 20,000 stocks at this time across all our global markets. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have not only VectorVest Canada, but also Australia, UK, Europe, South Africa, Hong Kong. And we analyze the stocks the same way in all markets. If you want to find the safest stocks that are out there, it's as easy as clicking this column right here, RS. When we talk about benefit, if you want to really preserve your retirement nest egg and still see some potentially good capital appreciation as well, it's a great indicator to use. So let's take a look at what high relative safety stocks are really all about. Let's look at some graphs. What I'm going to do is graph the top, let's say 10 stocks this time. And as I peel down through the charts, notice the price behavior on the stocks that you find up here in the top. Also notice the correlation with the strong earnings per share down here in VectorVest. And one lesson that we all should learn, if we haven't learned already, is earnings per share is the engine that's going to drive stock prices higher in the future. There's no stronger correlation in the stock market than that. And in VectorVest, not only do you get what earnings is, but it's actually projecting a 12-month lead of where earnings is headed, even taking into consideration some of the trailing data. So it's a stronger earnings in that it's a window into the future versus what the company just simply makes today. So as we see here, the earnings pattern is continuing to rise. So in a good stock market rising environment, these are the kind of stocks that will produce magnificent returns and are also very safe. Let's just take a look at a few. Look at the price and earnings pattern here with EDU. How about IPGP? So you say, well, you know what, Steve, those look pretty good. But how well have they performed, right, when I pick them? Well, one thing we can do is simply just go back, and I'll just use my birthday. So let's go back a few years. I'm going to go back to say, let's go 2010. We'll go to December 9th. And here are the top rated safety stocks at that time. You've got Nike, EXPD, NVO, Apple, and so on down the list. Let's take a look at some performance, shall we? So we'll quick test the top 20 stocks here just to get a feel on performance. Hey, That's pretty good, right? And so when we talk about benefit, how about positioning yourself into a portfolio of stocks with just a couple clicks of the mouse that could produce over 11% a year, year on year, and outperform the market? And of course, with some simple money management, we can probably do better and shed some of these losers along the way. Let's go back a little further. How about December 9th of 1996, for example? These were the top safety stocks at that time, and if I quick test this basket, look at that, 19 winners, only one loser, got a couple there up over 1,000% in Sherwin-Williams in HD. I'd say that's a pretty good reason why you may have decided to take out a subscription to VectorVest, because that's a benefit. Being able to easily find these kinds of stocks of this caliber with just a simple click of the mouse in the stock viewer. How about some simple and effective portfolio management? VectorVest certainly offers that as well. Let's take a look. If I come over here, I've got a watch list that I put together just to highlight the point. If I go into my watch list, I'm going to go to one that I just typed in for us here recently, and you'll see a list of stocks. The magic, guys, has already happened. The stocks with the best value, safety, and timing go right to the top. The stocks with the worst relative safety, relative value, and relative timing go right to the bottom. So you know, without hardly any sweat equity at all, what stocks are really doing you a favor and what stocks are becoming your problem children and need some management. The stocks that are really performing well are at the top. The stocks that you need to pay attention to are the ones that have sunk to the bottom, and in particular, are now carrying a sell recommendation. So our suggestion here is quite simple. Just peel off a stock or two at the bottom and watch your portfolio turn into a healthier portfolio over time. Where do you go to replace the stocks at which you sell? You simply just go right back to Stock Viewer, and you can pull right from the high relative safety stocks today. Portfolio management doesn't get any easier than that. How about a market timing system that has never failed to signal a major market move so you can sleep easy at night? Over in VectorVest, a quick check of the market timing graph right here on the timing tab will show you what I'm talking about. If I just come down here and let's start with the 10-year graph. I think we all remember what happened back here in 2008, 2009, and even what's happening now. But just to hit a few high points, when we say a market timing system that has never failed to mark a major move, let's go back here to November 2nd of 2007. Would that have been a good time for VectorVest to indicate to you that we're in a confirmed down situation? Of course, there was a little bit of a rally in between, and VectorVest positioned you in the right place to make money by issuing a confirmed up call on 4-3. We then entered right back into a confirmed down signal on 6-11. I'd say that captured a pretty large move in the market. Let's stretch it forward a little bit. I think that was a pretty good time to enter the market, and so was that one, see? And so VectorVest, we really can't miss a major move in the market. You want to talk about sleeping easier at night? Look no further than some of the most major corrections that we've seen in recent memory in the stock market, and you'll see VectorVest has got you covered. Maybe that's one of the benefits that you saw and why you took out a subscription to VectorVest. If we slide all the way over into the current time, you'll notice that here again, right up here, just about a week off the, or a couple weeks off the market top here, once again we're issuing a confirmed down signal. So now's not the time. So now might be a pretty good time to take a look at protecting profits on the portfolio that has hopefully made some really nice gains here over this year. Ah, yes. Probably my favorite one, at least near and dear to my heart, is what good is a powerful tool if you don't supply the guidance to back it up? At VectorVest, you get the best stock market guidance available anywhere and at any price. Maybe that's why you took out a subscription. Let's go take a look. Let's go back and just take a peek at what we had to say following some of those signals, or even in many cases in advance of some of these signals. For example, the big one back here on November 1st and 2nd of 2007. A great place to get market insights and keep abreast of what's happening in the market is to look no further than the VectorVest views. Let's go back to November 2nd, 2007. And on that date, lo and behold, VectorVest was talking about contra ETFs, which of course are instruments to take advantage of bearish market conditions. As we scroll just a little bit further, here we had some pretty strong statements on the market, I would say. A word to new subscribers, the confirmed signal that we received yesterday could be the entree to a long bear market. We aren't there yet because earnings are still rising according to our method of analysis, yet we no longer appear to have the support of an accommodative Fed, and that can make things very bad for the stock market. So do not be deceived by the endless parade of experts who will appear on TV and other places telling you to buy stocks. This is not the time to buy stocks. I'd say that was right on the money. Of course, that's the only time that we were able to produce strong stock market guidance like that, right? Well, let's take a look at a few more things here. You'll notice the next confirmed down signal coming in on 6/11. Let's investigate here a little bit. What I'd like to do is take you right in here on 6/6 into the same investment newsletter. We haven't even gotten to the confirmed down signal yet. Let's go take a peek. Remember this date, 6/6/2008. We'll slide down here to the strategy section. It says right here, the price of the VectorVest composite suffered a huge loss of 64 cents per share today and is now down 51 cents per share from last Friday. This move probably marks the end of the rally from the March 17th low. We will mark the onset of this new downturn from the May 16th high. As noted last week, the rally, for what it's worth, was quite weak. Let's hope the downturn is also weak. But with one red light, two yellows, prudent investors should protect profits and not buy stocks. Aggressive investors should play the market to the downside. Take another look at that graph and maybe hit just a couple more high points. I wish I could spend a couple hours showing you all there is to see here. But let's go right to the most prolific bottom we've had in recent memory, and that was the March low of 2009. So if I come right in here, you'll notice that the market really hit rock bottom down here March the 6th and then started to rally. So let's go right back into the investment newsletter and notice we're well ahead of the March 26th confirmed up call. So this is the guidance that I'm talking about. So we'll just dial it forward. Look at the color guard at that time. Look at that solid wall of red. I mean, blood is in the streets. It feels like the world is crashing in on you and the stock market is just getting creamed. Lo and behold, the essay that week was titled "Itching to Rally." How many pundits and talking heads on various networks do you think were producing this kind of content in that timely a fashion for you at this time in the stock market? This is the best stock market guidance you can buy anywhere at any price. Wonderful little essay for all of you to read. I'm just going to go right down here to the strategy section and focus in on one quick thing here. There's some great information in here letting you know we're seeing a lot of similarities between a prior market bottom back in October of 2002. But what it says here is if history repeats itself, we will soon have a bear market rally which will peter out and then the bulls will stampede again. Until then, we need to go with the flow. Prudent investors should not buy stocks at this time. Aggressive investors should play the market with a bias to the downside, but be alert for an explosive rebound. That's the best stock market guidance you can buy anywhere at any price. Not only that, we listed some strategies that one could consider buying right here, written in the gospel, right in the VectorVest views. So be ready to exit out of your contra positions like we would in our model portfolio and get ready to go long with one of the following strategies if that explosive rally occurs. Guys, these strategies, some of them were up hundreds of % in just months. I don't have the time to show you each and every single test, but if you go back and just do some quick testing around here, you're going to find some incredible performance, because it was only just another day or two later. We kind of got you poised again. We still see a lot of red on the color guard on the 9th. We're still playing the downside, but we're going to exit those positions and go long if the rally occurs. The rally and the blast off occurred on the 10th. And so we had you poised to get in there right at the open. And boy, let me tell you, once again, I think you should investigate some of this performance. We went long with Jailbreak. That strategy was already up like 24%. I think when we ended up getting in, and still went on to a terrific run. In fact, let's just take a quick look at this one little strategy, Jailbreak. I'm just going to go over here to Unisearch, come right over here to Strategies Bottom Fishing. Click right on the best bottom fishing strategy that we have. Go right back to that March 9th low, because you would have gone long in the market with the list of stocks from the night of the 9th. Okay, and in here, look at this. I think it was Citigroup that actually sent the market on a roll. It's printed right there in the VectorVest views for you. Said they turned a profit in the first quarter of the year. Nobody could believe it. Let's take a look. Boy, had you held the stocks all the way to now, they're only up 1,400%. It's 167% a year. I'd say that's pretty good. But let's go back and just take it forward maybe a month. How about April 9th? 150% in a month's worth of work? It's about a 1,775% performance per year. I'd say VectorVest gives you the best stock market guidance you can get anywhere at any price, and so maybe that's why you took out the subscription. I'd say that's a pretty good benefit. And so all of these are in the past, right? There was no real good time. In the future, guys, we do this week in, week out, year in, year out. This was a pretty good upturn in the market signaled by the confirmed call. I'd say that's pretty timely as far as the confirmed down. And you want to see about nailing a bottom again? Let's just go right down here to a bottom. How about November 4th, 2016? So we'll go right back to the views. Right down to the strategy section. Anything can happen next week. The market could rally explosively, so stay alert for a chance to win big time if you get it right. Let's put picture back to words. I'd say we got it right pretty well. Another important distinction between VectorVest and a benefit to our subscribers is that we cater to all types of investors and do not try to force everyone down the same path. Everyone's made up of different risk-reward profiles. And so back over in VectorVest, once again, we got you covered. If you go to the Unisearch tool, there's all these different categories of searches. We just took a look at the bottom fishers for those that like to bottom fish, and that's what they do. We have everything ranging from speculative all the way up to conservative and everything in between. Even candlestick patterns and technical analysis, it's all right here. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Let's just go to the most recent confirmed up call. I certainly don't want you to feel like all the good times are behind us. So let's get up here into April 20th of this year when we had our last confirmed up. I'm sure many of us are dealing with retirement and retirement-minded portfolios. Let's go to Searches Retirement, and how about right to our old buddy Long-Term Winners? You want to learn about how to manage a worry-free portfolio? I think that would be a benefit, a portfolio that I can run for my retirement nest egg that I'd never have to worry about again. You need to get out and see Jim Penna at one of our worry-free retirement seminars. The backbone of that is going to be this search right here. Let's go ahead and run it on April the 20th. Here's our list of stocks. You see some great names down here. Boy, Toro is a beast, and some other great stocks. Let me go ahead and just quick test, say the top 10. All right, from April 20th all the way up to the current time, good, safe stocks. These are your high relative safety companies here again. Now, not everybody is in that stage. Others of you, you're still trying to, produce magnificent returns in the stock market in hopes to better secure your retirement. So we have things like aggressive, or we even have things such as speculative. You want to have some fun? Get in here and look at these little guys like El Cheapos Cheapos. It's not where you put your retirement money, but it can be where you can make some serious gains and only do a few hundred shares, something like that. Let me go ahead and quick test some of these stocks. Look at that, 33% since the last confirmed up. Now, a speculator, they're trying to hit home runs, right? And there's some home runs to be made with El Cheapos Cheapos, that I guarantee. So you see, folks, no matter what type of investor, what your investment objective is, what your risk to reward profile is, VectorVest, again, has a solution for you. VectorVest, did you know, has proven model portfolios you can follow that make money month in, month out, year in, year out. Let's take a look. Right here on the Portfolios tab, if you want to get started right away and you're still not really sure where to go, just examine the performance of these portfolios that you can follow along with real dollars, if you like. Here's model portfolio number 1, and you can see it's got some pretty good performance for the calendar year. I did some investigating on the numbers, and last I looked, it's up over 54% from the beginning of the year, from December 30th of last year, as a matter of fact. Portfolio number 2 is up 48%. Portfolio number 3 is up 44%. Portfolio number 4 is up 1.2%. Portfolio number 5 is up 33%. And you can get in here and look at the equity curves. You can come over to the right. You can dig into the details and the action plans. And if you want to try to get performance like, let's say, the top dog, portfolio number 1, you're willing to live through some of these little bigger, more dramatic pullbacks, realizing you might get some bigger gains, then you can come over here, click on details, get a better feel for the trading system, what kinds of stocks you're dealing with. We're buying S&P 500 caliber stocks long, and we're selling overextended stocks short. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call and we'll tell you all about it. You'll also notice a detailed action plan. All you got to do is click right here. And if you want to emulate this portfolio or get started fresh, all you got to do is click the action plan, select the portfolio that you're most interested in, and it'll tell you that right now, and when to be bullish or bearish, it's bearish. The market signal is bearish at this time. It's okay to open bearish positions. It'll even go so far as to tell you C-trip is a position at which you can take on. When do I close that position, or what kind of stops do I set with my brokerage? Well, close any position that meets the following criteria: 20% gain or 10% loss, because those are the conditions that have produced this kind of profit potential. Let's say you want an even easier way to follow along, as if it could be any easier, right? Well, it can. One thing that you can also do is click New, call it Model 1, match up an investment that's round about the figure that you'd like to put into this type of trading system. Click on OK. Over on the right, here's Portfolio Genius. You want to talk about a benefit? Here's a tool that brings a lot of benefit to the table. If I click on Edit, I can select an existing trading system. When I click that, I'll simply select Model Portfolio number 1. Once I hit Select at the bottom, if I wish to get started right away, all I have to do is click Save and turn the Genius on. And you can see my portfolio alert has already been sent. That can even be sent to your cell phone. You'll also notice 3 positions have now fit the bill at this time throughout the trading day. So there's some advantage here again to the real-time product in that those are the most applicable positions right now at this very time, this very moment. What could be any easier than that? You simply send the same orders across to your brokerage and you're following along. Or if paper trade it for a while if you wish, just to get a feel for the strategy before you put your real dollars to work. Maybe that's why you took out a subscription, to be able to follow dynamic automated trading systems. Did you know we also have competitions? Hopefully you heard. We've done several strategy and special presentations on the subject here as of late. And boy, I've got great news for anybody that hasn't followed along. The goal of this competition is not only to give out some great prizes to people who participated, but it was also to develop robust trading systems using the VectorVest real-time and Derby product for our real-time and Derby users. And there have been some great systems that look to have been brought to the table. Let's take a quick look. I mean, look at the performance of some of these trading systems. The competition has only been going on a little over 2 weeks. Competitor 195 is up there with already a 21% gain. Off a little bit today, but if you look at the portfolio, that is about as smooth as an equity curve as I've seen here on any portfolio over the last 2 weeks. And he's not the only one, or she. We've got another portfolio right here, stacking up beautifully well. And so the competition is well underway. And again, the thing to get fired up about here is what the future may hold, and that is the ability to glean some terrific trading systems here that can be leveraged and put into play with broker partners in the future, being Ally or Interactive Brokers at this time. Maybe that's why you took out a subscription, to get that kind of foresight from a company like VectorVest. Did I mention you can trade now with broker partners? So no longer do you have to leave, you can seamlessly trade right within VectorVest. All you have to do is on any screen within VectorVest, let's just go right back to the Viewers tab and right click on the top stock. It's as simple as Trade Now with either RoboTrader, or you can even just right click and trade. There's also a Trade Now button above many of the screens within VectorVest that you can trade from there as well. At VectorVest, we're continually striving to make it easier and easier for you guys to be able to seamlessly execute trades right from our product. And I don't know if you heard, but we absolutely have the best product support staff in the industry. There are not many occasions where you're going to call in and not get straight through to a representative. And it's not a representative that doesn't have a clue as to what's going on. You're going to get the help that you need. All you got to do is make the call or send the email. And quite frankly, folks, another great benefit of being a VectorVest subscriber is that we're an industry stalwart. We've been in business now for 29 years and cooking, and we're not going anywhere. There, of course, are many other benefits that I can build out, but I simply ran out of time. And so what you've discovered here is I certainly think you've identified with one of the benefits that VectorVest attracted you from. And what I want you to do is never forget that and start to actually do it. If you need help getting started, folks, we're a phone call away. I want to thank you for tuning in this week, and we'll see you right back here next week at VectorVest University for your special presentation. Have a great weekend.